Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, want to begin by giving all praises and all glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ruach double honors unto the apostles and the lesser great millstone, rule well, peace, blessing to the saints, Hakim, being the elect, virgin, who pushing this truth 24 corners of the earth, giving all diligence to make the calling and election sure. This is the brother Kwana from the great millstone camp, Trinidad, coming once again to the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, to do our lesson, Lord willing, edifying to the elected nation of Israel. Alright, and this was just a small clipping of a gentle reminder, concerning precepts that would run to mind. When I saw this clipping, I said, through the spirit, I said I was going to do a quick edification lesson based upon what it is we are seeing here. As you could have seen, alright, they were one of the tops, wasn't spinning at all, and afterwards they had, it was surrounded by those who were moving, alright, and automatically by constant friction, alright, it started to move. So the title of this is in this heading of this video is the power of surrounding yourself with the right people, especially concerning the ministry, especially concerning this wisdom, alright, that we have. One of the key things you will always want to do is you will always want to be amongst the wise. And one of the first precepts I want to read is Sirach chapter 8 and verses 9. It says, miss not the discourse of the elders, for they are also learned of their fathers, and of them thou shalt learn understanding, and to give answer as need require. And this is something that you're going to feed and get understanding, and you're going to come up to speed, alright, with the knowledge or the things that is being said of these great men who walk in this walk before us. Alright. So don't miss that discourse. Don't miss the live works on our Saturdays. Alright. The apostles every place to go live on our Saturdays. Alright. The elders in Dallas. Alright. They go live on our Fridays. You don't want to miss these things, because this is where we get our nourishment, our feeding, alright, concerning this knowledge that we have in these earthly vessels, alright. And you always want to be up to that standard. You want to be around these men, you want to be in that vibration, alright, as showed us in that top there. When you're now coming, you didn't know much, but after being surrounded by this knowledge, you start to move, you understand? And this is what sometimes a brother might fall short, alright. And the scripture talks about restore, right? This is the book of Galatians chapter 6 and verse 1. It says, brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, because sometimes you will fall in this ministry, alright, but you gotta get back up and keep your feet in Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, because the scripture says there is not a righteous man who sinneth not, alright. It says, ye which are spiritual, right, restore such an one in the spirit of meekness, considering thyself, lest thou also be tempted, right. So this is something of a restoring, scriptures that just came to mind, alright, while I was looking at that video. Alright, scriptures came to mind, and these is events and things that would happen. Alright, there are times that you would fall, but guess what? There are brothers who you surround yourself, alright, who you know to be like-minded, to fear the Lord. Alright, you want to surround yourself by these men, and there is a reason why. There's a scripture I have queued up here in the book of Proverbs, chapter 27 and verses 17. I'm going to read it there, because this one beautifully fits into the title, or to the event that we have seen, alright, concerning these tops that was spinning, alright. This Proverbs 27:17, it says, as iron sharpens iron, right, as iron sharpens iron, so a friend sharpens a friend. And that is like, restoring such an one. And when iron comes together, alright, it's not something normal, it's friction. Alright, there is clashing, there is friction. When you're sharpening a sword, alright, with a file, and you're rubbing that, it gets hot. It get hot. And I believe the word wisdom, all right, goes back to chachama, which goes back to heat. All right, so it's like sharing that heat. Even in the book of Ecclesiastes, it speaks about, woe to him that is alone. And this is the reason why, you want to gather, when you want to be around those, all right, who in that mindset, all right, of serving Yahweh Bashim Yosha, you're going to be up to that speed. Look at what happened in that video. All right, those were moving around him, and that one was staggering, but with the constant hitting, all right, it started to come up to speed. And this precept is a beautiful precept, because this is where each one gonna teach one. All right, that friction that is being shared, or that heat, all right, or that wisdom, all right, you're going to be able to do likewise as was done at Salakia. You're going to be able to do likewise as it was done unto you. All right, because when we first came in, we learned, and know what we're doing now. We are teaching. All right, we are teaching. So we're going to read over this precept. This is Proverbs 27 and verses 17. It says, iron sharpeneth iron in the KJV, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend. All right. So this is other small list here also. There's the book of Hebrews chapter 10 and verses 24. There's Hebrews 10. Alright, let's bear with me a quick second. And verses. And let us consider one another. Alright, and like when you consider one another, as it goes on to says, to provoke unto love and to good works. So like in the instance of we saw that video, alright, with the tops spinning and one wasn't spinning, it's like the others was provoking him. Right? The others was provoking him. I'm going to read this in the NLT. It says, let us think of ways to motivate one another to acts of love and good works. So when it says, you see a brother, that you might be very close with, and you see the Lord, work his spirit upon him, and he started going to different things, and it's like, wow, that's supposed to like say, yeah, boy, I want to be in that spirit. Or hey, you're going to see brothers out there who preach and teach beautifully, that your spirit going to gravitate to. Or even a brother do an act of love, charity towards you, and it's going to make you feel a certain type of way, and you're going to want to be in that spirit, right? And that is like restoring such an one. And this is the reason why you want to surround yourself, around people, all right, especially concerning the ministry, who within that mindset, who within that mind frame. You understand? So I just want to look up that word provoke, right? Just want to get this word provoke here. Provoke. It says an incitement, irritation, right? Irritation. Let's just get this word irritation. The state that you do, you can't really be vexed when a brother bring you to that state, because sincerely that is love. So like how that one was just there sitting, he started to get lashed, like he started to get pulled, bam, 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 bam. You understand? Because they want to bring him up to that speed.